Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, today's content, guys, is all about Biden came out and reinvested in his calls for gun control from Congress. They just don't get it. They do not get it on any level. He is not leading in any aspect whatsoever because he has not contacted one Republican senator or House member in order to have even a conversation in order for one side, one exact half of the country to even begin to feel heard. The left is going down this avenue of it's our way or the highway, this is what we're going to get, and it's going to end extremely poorly for them because there's a reason that they have not gotten anything passed that they want, and their number one priority, the infrastructure bill that they just put out, is in trouble because they're only going on the left. They won't do the stack court, they won't stack the Supreme Court from the left. They won't do all of these extreme far left policies because they are not even considering half the country, and that's going to be a problem. In the most recent tragedies that we had, the solution is just to ban everything because we don't need to have that. We can't have those rights be out there because it could hurt individuals. At the same time, Biden says, well, it's his number one priority to make sure that Americans are safe. Gun violence was up 19% last year. 14,000 people were tragically murdered with firearms. Across the board, all firearms, 14,000. Out of a country of 330 million. Opioids, did you guys know this? The same time period was 88,000 people. If the focus was on lives and it was not on control, we would be focusing on the things that had the most impact, like the opioid crisis, like knife violence, like hand violence, like anything, but it's about control. And as long as the left goes down this road, they are not going to see the victory that they're seeking. And quite honestly, they're going to lose all control, the thing that they hold the most dear. If we continue down this road of completely negating the other half of the country because they're in power or we're in power, we're going to go down a very, very painful road we've been down before, and no one wants that. And honestly, guys, we don't need the politicians to step in and be the arbiters and pretend leaders because they're not leaders. You and I are leaders. I can have a conversation with somebody without screaming at them. It's pretty simple, and I know you guys can too. We have to be the leaders that are needed. We are now. We can do this because we have to step forward and bring the country back together because these politicians are only interested in themselves and they are not going to be able to do it. It's going to be difficult. I'm willing to lead this charge. I know you are too. Comments below what you guys think, but we're going to talk about exactly what Biden said right now, okay? In his statement on Friday, Biden renewed his calls for the Senate to take up House-passed legislation aimed at closing the so-called Charleston loophole, adding universal background checks, and reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act. Both of those things would have nothing to do with any of the tragedies that have occurred. Zero. Nothing. Nada. Nil. If they have nothing to do with what's occurring, then why are we doing it? Begs the question, right? House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn said last week that he thinks the Congress can get bipartisan legislation through, but such legislation faces an uphill battle in the Senate, which Democrats hold the slimmest majority possible and would need 10 Republicans to get on board. Democrat-backed efforts to enact gun reform legislation have failed in recent years. The reason that has failed is because they are rejecting anything that anyone puts forward except their agendas. And this is important. They are completely bypassing anything. Ted Cruz put things out. Oh God, what is his name? Manchin put things out. Toomey put things out. There are multiple Republican alternatives that have been put out, but they're being negated and completely filibustered or ignored. You know, filibuster, that terrible thing, that Jim Eagle thing. Anyway, I'm getting a little spicy today, guys. I'm sorry. The push comes as Congress is weighing Biden's multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure package as well as proposals on racial justice. Psaki said Friday that leaders can do more than one thing at one time. Okay, clearly she doesn't understand how Congress works because these people can't do more than one thing at one time. But, they're just saying. And I've also linked the description box below, the opioids research where you can confirm that 88,000 people died last year versus 14,000 for gun violence, and also the Politico article where I just referenced everything. Guys, we are in a point where nothing has changed in Congress. Any event that comes down the pike, which is terrible and tragic and horrible, and I hate to see it, the fact is the math is the exact same. Nothing has changed. It's amped up the emotional pressure. And while these things are terrible, we have to address what is occurring because we are not experiencing a problem with the tool being used. We are experiencing a spiritual sickness that we are exhibiting in our country. I don't care what I don't care what religion, what philosophy, I don't care. What I'm saying is we have a problem in this country, and you can remove one tool, it does not remove the problem. We are chasing the symptoms, not the cause. And as long as we do that from the left, we're only going to drive people further away from ourselves and our country, and we're going to continue to be divided. You and I can do this. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Can we do this? Are you guys in this with me? Because I am in this fight. We will do this, because our country is more important than our political affiliations. Until tomorrow, I'm Braden. I'll see you later.